Hey, how's it going, sports bettors? Matt Modai here with Oddsjam, coming to you today to give you my best NBA prize pick selections for today. So recording this on a Tuesday, October 25th. No NFL tonight, but we do have the NBA, so I'm going to give you my favorite prize picks plays for today. So the way I go about finding selections to put into a prize picks entry, it's pretty easy. I go to oddsjam.com. I either use the positive expected value tool, or I use the Oddsjam Screen. Now, the Oddsjam Screen is cool because it's completely free to use, and it pulls up for every single market where every single sportsbook prices that market at. So I have the player points up here, and we see across the board where every sportsbook prices a player points prop to be. The goal, of course, using this app, the screen, to identify outliers and see where sportsbooks have mispriced lines. In this case specifically, I'm going to be looking at PrizePicks. So let me zoom in a little bit there as well. But first, the Oddsjam positive expected value page is the easiest tool to use to find plays because it literally does all of the work for you. So I filtered specifically for PrizePicks. I filtered specifically for the NBA, as you can see here, and it pulls up plays in which you can get a positive expected value player prop selection to put in your prize picks entry. So to start off, it's important to understand how the math works and the way it works. So for a prize picks 5 entry selection, it's a lot of words, 5 selection entry, whatever you want to call it, the implied odds for each individual play is roughly minus 119. So you have to put in 5, obviously, but if you put in 5, then you will get an increased payout. And based on the payout, the Oddsjam co-founder Alex was able to discover that the implied odds for an individual play on a prize picks entry is minus 119. So if you're looking to find valuable plays to put into a prize picks entry, you just need to find player props that have implied odds that are greater than minus 119. And that's exactly what the Oddsjam positive expected value page does for you. So this column here, you see the no vig odds. The no vig odds is what Oddsjam calculates calculates the line to be with the vig removed. Now it's pretty cool the way it works. Oddsjam back tested just hundreds of thousands of betting opportunities with the main goal of all of this testing, collecting all this data. They just wanted to determine what sportsbooks are the sharpest in terms of pricing odds, what sportsbooks do the best job at pricing odds. So they learned that from all of this back testing, and then they removed the VIG using a weighted average among all of those sportsbooks. So these no VIG odds you see here, it's pulled from all of the different sharp sportsbooks with the VIG removed. So anywhere in which the no VIG line is more favorable than minus 119, it would be a good prize picks entry to add, prize pick selection to add. So this first one here, Kyle Kuzma over 1.5 3-pointers made. So the no vig odds calculate this to be minus 128. And we can see across the board where every other sportsbook prices it. BetMGM, PointsBet, minus 155, minus 135. And then we see like the sharpest sportsbook in the world, Pinnacle, at minus 134, BetOnline at minus 154. DraftKings does a great job at pricing player props. They have this at minus 145. All of these sportsbooks think that Kyle Kuzma is more likely to go over the 1.5 3-pointers made. So they're heavily juicing that outcome. But PrizePicks, thanks to them having the same implied odds for every single play, you can get pretty good odds. So in this video, the first play, Kyle Kuzma over 1.5 3-pointers made. So now let me just add it. I'm going more 3-pointers made. The next one, and we can just keep going down. As you can see, there are a ton here that we can add. So the next one that we're going to look at here, Mikal Bridges under 0.5 blocks, so doesn't record a block. No big odds. Price this at about minus 127. As we know, the implied odds on PrizePicks are minus 119. Same thing here. Look where all the other sportsbooks price it. Just a ridiculous outlier because we're using PrizePicks and their implied odds are the exact same, no matter what the play is. Pinnacle, minus 172. DraftKings, minus 135. Caesars, minus 142. BetMGM, minus 140. Minus 140. Across the board, having it as the most likely scenario by a pretty decent margin. So that is going to be the next play that I'm going to add. Blocked shots, Mikal Bridges, less than. The next one is this Cade Cunningham over 1.5 made threes. So we need to go back to the 3-point made bucket. We want to go to Cade Cunningham. He's going to go more than. And the logic is the same, right? I don't want to beat a dead horse, but just want to make sure that everybody understands what we're looking for here. Minus 119, the implied odds. No vig odds at about minus 123. Pretty much in the minus 130s across the board. PointsBet and Caesars have it in the FanDuel, minus 160, minus 162. BetOnline, minus 145. DraftKings, minus 135, as does Pinnacle. So this is the third one. Cade Cunningham over 1.5 made threes. And the last one that I'm going to pull specifically from the Oddsjam positive EV page is this Dorian Finney-Smith under 10.5 points. So let me go to the points market. We're looking at Dorian Finney-Smith to go under, less than. And then the last play I found using the Oddsjam screen, because I did want to highlight how you can use the screen and how it's a really good tool to use. So as I mentioned, pulls up odds for every major sportsbook and what they pull up odds for across the entire betting market. Every game played tonight, here's a player points market. You may want to find, where does PrizePicks have an outlier, right? Where are they different than the rest of the sportsbooks? And the player that I found them to be different, who I like locking in, Luca, to go over 31 total points. So there's a couple things to note here. The reason why I like this one over 31, so Pinnacle prices this at 30.5, but they heavily favor the over. They think that the over is the more likely scenario. The other sharp sportsbook that prices this is BetOnline at 31.5. So basically they have him going over the 31 number. So PrizePicks giving it to you at exactly 31 is a pretty good price, because if it does land at exactly 31, then you would have just pushed this individual selection and you would have gotten paid out on the rest. So Pinnacle thinks that him going over is the more likely scenario, and BetOnline prices his total to be over as well. So my last one is going to be Luca over 31 points on PrizePicks, and those are going to be my 5. So let me just add this one to my bet, to my slip. And here we go, $20 to win 200 PrizePicks entry. Luca over 31 points. Dorian Finney-Smith under 10.5 points. Cade Cunningham over 1.5 made threes. Mikal Bridges under 0.5 blocked shots. And Kyle Kuzma over 1.5 3-pointers made. And that's it. So appreciate you guys watching, and have a good one.